Hi everyone, I'm Claire.
And I'm John.
And today we're reading an article called Banmal Payback. As Korean speakers, you definitely recognize that first word. So that is what we're going to tackle in our warm-up section. Can you explain to us, in your own words, what is banmal?
This is often called the casual speak in English. And it's basically a politeness level, you could say, that you use with people who you want to be familiar, close with, or who are younger than you often. And basically, it's a form of speech that is casual. It's who you use it with your friends. Well, in Korea, friends are the same age, or people who are younger. Very rarely with people who are older, besides maybe parents and stuff. And yeah, that's all it is. And it said in the article that there were 8 different levels of politeness levels, I guess that you could call them. However,
Registers.
yeah. However, I would call them more like 8 different systems or 8 different features. Yeah, because I think I know what they're talking about if I remember my books correctly. And I wouldn't call them different levels. I think there's only 3 major levels. And then they're split up into sub-levels, I guess you could call them.
Wow, this sounds amazingly complicated. So in your Korean speaking experience, who do you use banmal with?
It is going to be people who I feel more comfortable with. It's going to be people who I feel close with and who I define as friends in the English way. They don't have to be the same age as me. I can speak banmal with people who are older or younger as long as they are closer with me. But I really quickly fell out of speaking banmal with everyone because I learned very quickly that when you do speak banmal, it does create this familiarity, and I don't want that with some people. So I was like, we can speak the more formal speech to each other, and I'm okay with having that gap. But yeah, it's usually familiar people, or I'm sorry, close people.
Yeah, I guess we don't have strict registers in English, but I do speak more formally more often. I don't know if that's also because I'm British. I think in general, British people tend to speak a bit more formally than Americans across the board. But I find myself only using casual slang with the closest, with my absolute nearest and dearest. Again, I think it might be a method I have of keeping just a little distance from most people.
Yeah, and people might think that there are no politeness levels in English. There are. There absolutely are. They're just not reliant on verb endings or special words. It's really reliant on tone, and I guess it is reliant on vocabulary.
There is slang as well.
Yeah. Obviously, the lack of slang might be a bit more formal.
We're going to take a closer look at some incidents involving banmal that have been going on within Korea, and then we'll come back and discuss them together. So take a look at the summary or maybe the full article if you have the time.
Banmal Payback. The Korean language might seem easy when you start learning, but it's actually extremely difficult. One thing that makes it so hard to learn is the need for different levels of formality depending on who you are talking to. Native speakers also mess up on this sometimes. Recently, service workers have been complaining online about customers who inappropriately address them using banmal, informal speech. They shared a few strategies for letting customers know that this is not okay.